With quite some new titles in the last few years, it seems the sci-fi genre is finally back in the mainstream. And that big stinker Independence Day resurgence aside, you can't go more mainstream than Passengers. Passengers is the newest movie by Norwegian director Morten Tyldum. It stars two of the hottest actors right now, Pratt and Jennifer Laurence. It actually features only very few other faces, which is part of the whole concept. Passengers tells the story of two people on their journey to a distant colony planet. Their ship, the Avalon, transports 5,000 passengers and a few hundred crew members, but after a strange malfunction, Pratt and Laurence seem to be the only two persons who wake up out of hibernation. The only problem, it still takes the ship 90 years to reach its destination. I said the movie is mainstream, and it totally is. It's a science fiction story, but at its heart it's more like a romance. It's actually a pretty decent date movie, I think. The trailers try to sell it more like a thriller, but it's actually about these two people in that very strange situation. As I record this video, the first reactions have been extremely negative, and I went into it with very low expectations. And you know what? I kind of liked it all the way through. But I especially enjoyed the beginning. I like the idea of the movie and the atmosphere it creates, being so far away from anywhere, out in space, 90 years away from your destination, around 60 or so away from Earth. It's a horrifying thought to be in that situation, and I love the way Pratt's character Jim is finding out and dealing with it. Pratt is the perfect guy for this role. He is quite relatable, and when he's doing a huge mistake, you don't condemn him. And don't tell me you don't think of Star-Lord when he's putting on his spacesuit. I can't really go into many details here because I don't want to spoil the direction it takes. I can totally understand the ethical problems someone might have with it, but for the emotional approach they were going for, it worked. The movie is a little bit like Titanic in space. Two people who just met fall in love on a sinking spaceship. The designs of everything, the way the ship is built and decorated, all the interfaces and the little cleaning robots, which I totally adored. It's all very lean and futuristic, and it fits the vision they're going for. But the way everything unfolds, how the romance blossoms and the problems are handled, is a little bit too neat and clean as well. Passengers is by no means a great movie that does anything super special or mind-blowing. The whole finale feels really like you've seen these things 100 times before, but since I was quite invested in Jim and Aurora, the name of Jennifer Lawrence's character, it was fine for me. I also like the music by Thomas Newman, which brings the feeling of loneliness and isolation across quite nicely. It's melancholic but also romantic. The whole movie has that flavor of an old sci-fi pulp story to it. Again, the main conflict, the adventure survival aspect aside, which I don't want to spoil, is questionable and even a little bit problematic in the way it resolves, but as a metaphor for love and forgiveness, it kind of works. As a romance, the movie is quite decent, just on the brink of being too schmaltzy, and for fans of sci-fi it has a fascinating setting. There are some very cool visuals in it as well, a swimming pool in zero gravity for example, or some beautiful, melancholic moments in space. Passengers clocks in at almost 2 full hours, but I wasn't bored at any point. It never reaches greatness, but it's entertaining, and Pratt is quite charming. In German I'd say, wirklich ganz nett. I give Passengers just barely 7 out of 10. It's more like 6.8, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below, let me know what you think about Passengers. And today's question, what's your favorite science fiction movie from the last 5 years? And to make it more interesting, let's say Star Wars and Star Trek don't count. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.
You feel love.
Yeah, I guess, I feel a general unselfish love for just about everybody.
No, sexual love.
No, I don't.
For her.
No!
You are not my